For a time, the lyrics of the Father's Love Begotten were used as a medieval chant. So why do you think modern Reformed Protestants, in particular, have dropped the tradition of singing in plain chant? And is there a case for reviving it?
It's a really interesting question. I'm sure there is a case for reviving it. Whether it would be a persuasive case to most people, I'm not sure. I would. So when you sing the song, and I won't sing it here, but you can hear the sort of the Father's love begotten. You can hear the sort of lilting. It's not a traditional melody, more recent as we would understand it, but it's still very singable, and you can hear the roots there in that plain song chant tradition. I mean, it would be really interesting. I have tried, I'm sure unsuccessfully, in my own devotional time sometimes to try to sort of chant a psalm or something, and go up at the end or go up at the end, do something that gives a little chant. Like, I think I tried it once years ago as a pastor in a church, and it just didn't quite work. But that's not to say you couldn't do it. I think it's so unfamiliar to us. I think if someone, probably the way to go is if your church has a choir or your church has some musical sort of ensemble, to try to teach them how to sing something or how to use a metrical psalm, a psalm, and for the Scottish listeners, to try to teach some of the musical folks to do it and maybe model it in church for some Sundays, and then maybe, depending on the size of your congregation, to give a few pointers how to do it. I do think it's worth trying to reintroduce it, but probably it's likely to be a kind of novelty. Oh, that was interesting. It's just not in our repertoire of how to do it.
Well,
I
know
all
when
up for you two trying to bring it back.
I went to university with a guy. He had an absolutely fantastic voice, and there was one stairwell at the back of the college that was very echoey, and he would practice his Gregorian chanting in the stairwell.
Yeah, so you need somebody like that.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I went to a Jesuit university in California, and I was part of the concert choir there. And the women's choir in particularly did a lot of Gregorian chants that were arranged for boys' choirs. And it was really, really beautiful. And I was like, how come we don't do this? And I was like, is it like just because we're like, this is a Catholic thing, and so we're kind of putting it to the side? But it's a shame, because I do think like a lot of our modern kind of Protestant Reformed circles miss out on like a wealth of really old, really beautiful songs, because it's just kind of like, oh, that's what Catholics do. I don't know.
Really beautiful. Yeah, you can do it really well. And even what you said there about the stairwell is probably one of the reasons, because to do a chant, you're both musical, we're so used to a lot of music filling up the space. And most of our churches are much more geared for clear diction for the speaker than they are for the music. And as a preacher, I appreciate that. But a stairwell or these old, cathedrals, stone buildings, they just reverberate in a way that allows you to do a chant. And all of a sudden, wow, it's like, why do people sing in the shower? It's because there's probably tile and it's enclosed and hopefully no one hears you. But it also, it echoes. You start to sound a little better. And these chants, so get a stairwell, get some trained musicians, try it there, and then let's set the church world on fire.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Hymnpartial podcast. Before you click away, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're notified of future posts on this channel. More details like how to support us or how to sign up for our free weekly newsletter can be found at hymnpartial.com.